Ok, fatto. Ok, ho dato l'accesso.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Just a couple of minutes, we wait for the latecomers, and then we can start.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Claudia has also joined.
Hi all.
Hi.
Okay, let's go. I guess someone is still arriving, but we have many things to see and say today. So let's start. First of all, thank you everybody for being here. Today we, as promised in the previous webinar held in January, we'll be presenting a few plugins that have been recently released to the Forma company members. But just a brief recap to give all the new ones, all the newcomers, some context. Back in November, we held an event named the Forma Experience to celebrate 10 years of the Forma LMS project and to point out where we arrived, how we got here, and where we are heading. And in January, we reviewed all the contents of that event. So the Forma project now reached a few important achievements today. In these years, we released over 30 versions, counting major and minor and maintenance releases, not counting the beta and the release candidates, meaning a lot of work and continuity in the development process behind the software. This is acknowledged worldwide with over 100,000 downloads worldwide from over 20 countries all over the world, creating a strong community. We are now counting about over 6,000 users on the Forma community on the website, and an average of 50 to 70 members on the association, depending on the years. The interesting point is seeing the model that led us here. We have quite a dense timeline of achievements and releases. This is based first on partner investments. Partners are companies that founded the association and have been adding and contributing during all these years. This was not enough, so we created the association, and through member fees, now we have a budget that can support and increase the energy we can put into development, and also help us paying for servers and the general sustainability of the project, some marketing expenses, the brand deposit, and so on. Then we added a new channel with testing a crowdfunding. And with this model, we were able to co-contribute to the development, to the refactoring of the learning object area. And another element, another resource channel in this business mix came thanks to direct sponsorships, meaning companies that pay directly some of the company members of the association for the development of specific core features that now then are released and included in the public versions. This happened, an example, for the new dashboard released with Forma Free, while then we have interesting mixes. An example, the H5P plugin that we'll see in a few minutes was co-funded by the association with member fees, and half paid by one of the historical company members named Zoom, is a Finnish member of the association. Also, other features were partly sponsored, partly afforded, developed with a association budget, and so on. This year, we are, as association, we are working on 3 points to give more strength to this model and allow for more resources and more energy to support the development, because we are planning a huge acceleration in the Forma project. We discussed the new prototype we are creating in the previous webinar, and we'll spend a few words at the end of this call. The 3 main innovations that we are introducing as association is that we released again, and we are maintaining again, a public repository. So independent developers can participate and contribute to the code development. And this is already happening. We released the public repository a couple of months ago. And yesterday, we released the first version of Forma. It's the 3.3.22, containing a dozen of contributions coming from the public repository. And all of this will, of course, included in the upcoming new maintenance release of the 4th version. So new energy, and to have the project being even more open source than before. Then we are working on the budget of the association, because this is fundamental, very important to support some core developments that cannot be sponsored. So we had to increase a little bit the cost for individual memberships to increase the budget for the association, and also to fix and reduce a gap with company members. And to company members, we are trying to give more value with these plugins we will see today, and more that will come in the future, reserved to these companies that acknowledging the business and the value they are finding in Forma LMS, they are contributing and participating with a higher cost membership. So during this webinar, you will be able to make questions in chat. I guess the microphones are open, but please try not to speak. We will give you the Word in case of need. But you can, of course, ask anything in chat. We will collect all the questions and answer during the presentation or at the end of the presentation. This webinar will be recorded, and we will send you both the slides and the recording in the next few days. So, Max, take control of the presentation. Let's share and let's tell us something about the new plugins we released.
Okay, just few words of context. Again, I think everybody here, most of the people who are here already know our ecosystem and our environment, but maybe not all of them. So just 2 words. Forma is an open source project and an open source LMS available for download, and the numbers are very, very good. And the numbers, the ones that Alberto showed a couple of minutes ago. Also, there are 4 or 5 companies who are the creators and developers of Forma LMS. Some of them are here. Me, Alberto, Francesca, Claudio are here. And we also offer professional services for all of those who like Forma and want to use Forma. In this webinar, we will speak about what is available to the so-called company members. We also have an association. Maybe you didn't know, but we also have an association. And the association members have certain permissions and certain advantages. The most important ones is being able to always download the latest version, and also they have some visibility on our website. They can post articles. They can have some visibility because their website, their logo, etc., can be made visible to the community. It means, probably Alberto showed it before, it means access to more than 5,000 forum members and access to a website that is visited, I think, more than 1,000 times per month. So this is one of the reasons why it's good to be to be an association member. Okay, we were here on the slide of the plugins. Let's go to the 3 main plugins that we give away for free to company members. First of all, Templated. First of all, H5P. What is it? H5P is a third-party application, so it's not developed by us, but it's developed by the H5P Foundation, not-for-profit foundation. We've been asked to integrate it into Forma because it's become very popular among content creators during the last years. And so, thanks to the Finnish partners and to our effort, we were able to do it. And I will give you a very quick explanation of what it is and what it does. First of all, you have more than 50 types of interaction inside H5P, and it's integrated into Forma. I think all of you are familiar with the teacher area and learning object management area. If you're not, okay, then we will explain it better. But anyway, it's the place where you upload or create content inside Forma, okay? And once you're there, just click on New, and you will be displayed all the H5P content types. from course presentation to interactive video to interactive book to whatever. I think many of you already use third-party tools like, for example, Articulate 360 or iSpring or Scrum Hero. To be precise, H5P does not produce SCORM, but if that is not an issue, because maybe you don't care about SCORM tracking, in that case, H5P is competitive with even those famous and expensive tools, because many of the types of interactions are not even possible with the other tools I mentioned. So this way, Forma becomes not only a learning management system, but a learning content management system, because you're able to create and embed your content directly into Forma. So I will show you live in a minute, just a very quick explanation. So whenever you start creating a new type of H5P object, you are presented with the list of available types. You just choose one. In this case, we have a course presentation on this small screenshot here, and then you start filling it in. Just a second, I'm going to go to a live LMS so I can show you live. Do you have any questions so far? Is everything clear? If you have questions, just write in the chat. So I'm going to show you live what happens. This customer here does a lot of work with H5P. So what you're supposed to do is go to teacher area, go to LO management, and then H5P content. As I said, you are displayed with the complete list of all the available interaction types. In the meanwhile, H5P has also added more, so now there are 53. So just choose whatever type you are interested in, and for every one of them, there is also an example in a tutorial. Let's say we want to use flashcards, and before deciding that flashcard is the one for you, you have an example. So you can see the right example for the interaction you want to use. No, it's not lemon. Okay. What is it? Let's say you want to recycle one of these examples because you like it. You can simply click on reuse, and you'll be able to download it and then to put it on the LMS, on your LMS. So you can either start from scratch, as I'm doing here, or you can reuse something that you can take from the H5P content hub. I especially like interactive book because it's the one with more options. So that's how interactive book works. For those of you who are familiar with Rise, it resembles a little bit Rise, What I mean is that you have an index, a menu on the left, and then you have several interactions you can use, from labeled image to quizzes like this, to drag and drop. So you can drag items and then see if you solve the quiz. So it's very powerful. And the type of tracking you have in the LMS is that you will have the green tick or the orange tick. The green, of course, in case you have completed the object. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you for H5P. So simply upload the plugin onto your LMS, enable it, and then you are good to go. You will have the H5P content menu item here. Any questions so far? While I prepare the next plugin, which is templated. I don't know if the colleagues have seen something in the conversation. It seems I have seen. It seems nobody is asking anything, so I just go on with my presentation.
There are two questions.
Sorry?
I see. No, they are actually writing. So is it possible to download the objects as SCORM? Sarah is asking.
No, that's one of the things I said. Unfortunately, H5P does not produce a SCORM. It only produces an H5P object. So there is some tracking, green tick or orange tick or scene, but we don't have it doesn't have a complete tracking. So it's more or less like if it was an HTML file. It has to be said that not every time you need to have a score. Sometimes maybe you can just be happy with this kind of tracking and this kind of use. So it's not a limitation of the plugin; it's a limitation of H5P, because H5P is born to do exactly that. Okay, Claudio. Okay, Claudio, go on.
Has a raised hand.
Yes, I ask Max. I ask you where the data and the interaction from the student are stored in the Forma LMS or on the H5P server.
On the LMS, of course, on the LMS, and not from the H5P hub. You just go there to take the code of the object, and maybe if you want to download the example, which you can reuse. But after that, you upload it on the LMS or you create it on the LMS, and then it's there. H5P will never know nothing about the student data. So I think your question also concerns GDPR and privacy implications.
Yes, it's to be clear for all of us that are in this webinar, is that there are no communication from the LMS to the H5P server, and the LMS does not share any data, any student data or other data with H5P server. We only connect to the uh, to H5P server to download the JS scripts to
Yeah,
create the object.
absolutely. Here a couple of other examples. So course presentation or interactive videos, which is probably the most popular interaction type. As you can see here, you have several options: the full screen, the closed captions. You can download from YouTube, for example, and add closed captions. You can also avoid skipping, for example, or you can add quizzes on the top of the video. It's very easy and quick. Also, it's mandatory to at least include one quiz. If not, your interactive video will never be completed. So if there is no other question, I can move to the next plugin, which is Templated. Templated, well, we've been using that for our direct customers for, I think, I don't know, 10 years at least. So most of you will already be familiar with it. We actually recently upgraded it, but just a quick introduction. Templated, of course, can be used to change the logo, change the favicons, to change the background image, and so on for your LMS. But also for those of you who have multi-client or multi-URL installations, and some of you, I think, have many different installations. With Templated, it's possible to easily create several different templates. Let me show you here. This is a test installation. So we have several templates. I don't even know what is there. But as you can see, if I open one of them, okay, here I decided to put these images, so this background, this logo, and these favicons. And then, since this customer is dark blue, red, and white, I used navigation buttons in blue, navigation and or red, and then I also used the red for the icons, and then I used red and dark blue as a primary and secondary color. These labels here are a guide that helps you customize your LMS the way you want it. Also, it's good to know that even if you choose dark colors as a primary and secondary colors, then the LMS will automatically turn your text into white, or anyway into something that can be red, that can easily be read. So if the colors are clear or light, then the text will be dark, and if the colors are dark, the text will be light. So everything will be easily readable. Adding a new template is pretty quick. Just write the name, click on Add Template, and then after a minute, you will have a new template, which you'll be able to customize. I think most of you are already familiar with some of these concepts. Here is my new template, and then I can go here and start customizing it with the colors, with the logos, etc. Of course, the LMS has a default template that is, of course, it's what it's supposed to be. But since Forma 4, we also have, so let's go to advanced. Yeah, sorry, let's go here. Yeah, I can associate a different domain to a different template. So that's one of the new features of Forma 4. It's something that you could already do in Forma 2 and Forma 3, but it was just in a different section, and now it's much easier to do it here. So as you can see, this test LMS has 4 additional domains with their name, and every domain has a different template and can be linked to a different email. That's an email sender. That's one of the new features of Forma 4. The fact that you can customize your email settings and your domain settings from here, from the interface. Okay, stop sharing. Are there any questions concerning Templated?
Max, just one more point about Templated. Sorry, I missed if you already said that, but Templated takes care also of the template updates, because sometimes, an example in the latest release, we need to do fixes to the template code. So if you do it manually, you have to override or reorganize your template. With Templated, you can just push the button update, and it will fix the code and leave you with a correct version of the template.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Alberto. Conversations. Okay. Yeah. So the next chapter, the next topic is LTI. Claudio, are you available to speak about that? Do you want to share the screen, or do you want us to share the screen for you?
No, if you have some slides that we can share before, or
a couple of slides, the same. I can. I will paste them here for you. Speakers. Okay. If you go to the conversations, you'll see the link to the presentation. So,
okay.
And screen sharing is on the left. It's the icon with the small monitor and the arrow. But you are now mute. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Sorry, everyone. I am here. So the next plugin, the plugin that we want to show now is LTI, or it's a learning object, a new learning object that we have developed for Forma 4. And with this learning object, you can use in your LMS with the LTI standard protocol, or an object that are uh, another platform that another platform share for you, and that the other platform provide to your LMS. In the LTI protocol is a standard like the SCORM, the XRP, and the other that standards that are around the LMS and interoperability for the student area. In the LTI concept, there are a platform that are the consumer of the learning object, that will be our form installation, and there are another uh, platform, another site that share and that public an object to be imported and to be shared into the LMS. In this case, we can see that another LMS create a learning object and publish this learning object, and then the Form LMS can use and can mm, do the capability for this LMS student to use the object. The object is totally shared and stored on the provider side, on the provider content management system, and the consumer, our LMS, it's a consumer, and use the objects that are stored on the counterpart platform. So in this case, there are a communication from our platform, our LMS, with the other one to communicate the request for to run the object and the name of the student. If we want to have the capability to track and that the student can reuse the bookmark on the learning object. Or we can send a request anonymized to the other platform, and in this case, the student will not be able to track or to re-enter and to restart the lesson at the point when he interrupt the course. Now we can I can see with you a little demonstration of the plugin. In the teacher area, you will have the capability to create a new learning object of LTI, and then when the object created, to specify all the key, the URL, and the key that are needed to pairing or the LMS with the external platform. and to trust the communication from the LMS and the external platform. Then in the student area will be a new object that can be uh, used in a player as another object of the platform of our LMS. This content and this are I don't know if it's only a slider or is a score or another type of learning object. I know only that it's a learning object that I must use it on the counterpart
Mhm.
or platforms, and I can see it, and I can just see all of my lesson. I can navigate and all of that.
So to the user, it's totally transparent. The user doesn't know and doesn't even care if the material is stored on his platform or somewhere else. The user doesn't need to know, but it's important for you as the managers, if you want to sell your courses to somebody else who has another Forma LMS platform, then you can do it without giving them the physical score package. You just
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
you just need to give them those keys, and once they stop paying, you just cut away the keys, and you will have full ownership of your courses without without distributing anything physical, even if it's
exactly,
digital.
exactly. This protocol, this interoperability protocol, is made so the creator of the content can own on his server the content and share with any LMS the use of the content without sharing the content itself. As we have seen, we are trying an object from our customer that have
Mhm.
shared with us for test this content, and we don't have any content on our server. Uh, you can see another one. There are no, in this case, the the counterpart have removed
Yeah.
the
So let's say
and
that you didn't pay and they cut away the connection.
yes, he cut
Of
away the
course.
connection without connecting the
Yeah.
key that can
Yeah.
access the content.
Okay.
Okay, and in this with this plugin, all the tracking are stored on the server of the provider,
Okay.
not
On the other LMS. So not
on the other LMS. Yes, but the provider can be an LMS or another any content server that implements the LTI capability.
yeah. So just to recap, uh, with Forma, you can have you can be an LMS consumer, meaning that you can play different objects that are stored elsewhere, and the other LMSs can be Moodle, Blackboard, can be whatever you want, whatever
Exactly.
you want. So they don't need to be for all Form LMSs. The other, so the provider, can be whatever has an LTI capability.
Exactly. Can be another LMS as Blackboard Moodle or other, or can be CMS, a content management system, as a WordPress site or a newspaper site that have an object, a page that can be shared with us through the LTI protocol.
So that's why I was referring to Forma, to a connection between one Forma and another Forma, but actually it can be between anything else and your Forma. To be able to do the opposite, we would need to have the provider LTI plugin, which probably we will have next year or whenever we have the time to do it.
Exactly, Max. In this moment, we have developed as the association and are available for all the associated members, the LTI consumer that can use an object that are stored on in another content server. We will develop in the next year. I hope this year or in the next one, the second plugin that is the LTI provider. So Forma will be able to share its content to others.
Yeah. Also, since there is a couple of messages on the conversation, this event is in English because it has been promoted as an event in English since the beginning. And actually, even if just some of you are international and most of you are Italians, we actually also have many other people who have subscribed but could not participate. So unfortunately, for those of you who are not familiar, but we need to continue in English. And okay, when we will do Italian language event, we will promote them as Italian language events. Sorry for if it's an issue for some of you.
Okay.
And okay, any other questions concerning the LTI? Apparently not. So maybe we can give back the control to Alberto, or if you want to continue. Okay.
Sure. I already answered a few questions directly in chat where you were talking. So get back my screen share to close the presentation. Okay, where we are.
Meanwhile, Erica has asked if we already have some plans for the LTI provider. We don't have, I think, a precise plan. It might be sometime next year.
Yes, I think that we can be at the end of this year or the 3 months of the next year.
Okay.
So, how to get the plugins from the Forma website? If you just go to the plugin listing page, you will be able to see the descriptions, and just clicking on the download link from each page, you will be able to download it. The download will be available only for the company members, not for other members at the moment. So it will be very, very easy to get it, but this is also a way to support the association. Okay, so just download them and let us know. Use the forum for any support you may need when you try to install or use the plugins. H5P is available both for Forma 3 and Forma 4. LTI and Templadit are available only for Forma 4 or higher. And that's all for the moment for the plugins. Just a few words about the larger plans we have for Forma itself, for the LMS, because we are already working on Forma 5. If you participated to the previous webinars or to the event we held in Milan, you already know about this. But what we have been doing in the past months has been planning and designing global refactoring of both the core and mostly of the front end of the platform to create a modern platform with a modern look and feel, sleek and smart, mobile first oriented, which means that it will be ready to be used on mobile out of the box, even without app or any support. This means that it will be easier to maintain the code, because we won't need to do hacks or tricks to make it work on all of the devices. It will be designed for a most modern use of the courses and of the e-learning projects. We are redesigning the navigation, the general navigation of the platform, and in general, redesigning the user workflows, mostly for the end user part, to create a new user experience, more intuitive and smart and fast, with a strong focus on training and interactivity. We have a video on the YouTube channel of the association presenting the main points of this prototype. We are already working on the code of the backend, because it will need to do some refactorings, some strong refactorings of the core code. But at the same time, we are doing a focus group with some test users to refine and test the user experience, and they are going very well. I guess within hopefully a couple of months, we will hold a new webinar presenting the new works we are doing on the prototype we already presented. There is a lot of stuff going on. We are redesigning the user experience and the UI from the first page of my courses and the main dashboard down deep until the course presentation of learning objects. So also the learning object player will be redesigned to be faster. It will be possible to jump directly from to the next or previous learning object. I knew the JT team is already working on the refactoring of the SCORM player, but all the navigation, the user experience, when it comes to playing the learning materials, will be redesigned. We are designing some kind of course dashboard to present all the informations in an easier way with less menus and pages to navigate to go through all the course experience, including a few new features going towards gamification badges, course ratings, and so on. To do all of this, okay, we have an estimate of approximately 400 days of development. Even if we are already working on it, we won't be able to do it all by ourselves. That's why we launched crowdfunding. This was one of the channels of our sustainability model mix. And of course, all of the resources we can get and find from all the 4 channels, they will be attempted. We are estimating a needed amount of about 90,000 euros. We will divide them apart. We will get them from the association. That's why we are working on strengthen the association organic budget. Part will be, as usual, an effort provided by the Forma partners, but about half of the budget we will need you to support us. That's why we launched crowdfunding. There is a crowdfunding page. We just received the first donation a couple of weeks ago, but this will be the easier way to support the project. The goal is to provide and keep open source a platform that can compete with a mainstream biggest platform that you can see, that will let you compete with all of your competitors. When you go to your clients and present your learning offer, we want you and as well as us, all of us, to have a platform that is modern, sleek, and stable and strong in generally speaking. So if you wish to participate and help us keeping this project free, open source, and collaborative, there are 3 ways. The first is donating. In most countries, donation to an association are deductible, so you should have fiscal advantages. In Italy, they are deductible up to the 30% of the amount. But if you want, the other model is sponsoring specific features or part of the development we are going to do. So just get in contact with any of the Forma partners, and we will go through a standard process of estimate and invoicing, but all of this will be put into the open source version, free open source version of the platform. As I was saying at the beginning, we already have clients collaborating this way, so choosing to help us developing a specific part of the open source version. The last option is to directly collaborate with us through development, testing, and or writing documentation. Development is already possible with a public repository. But if you have development skills or internal developers and you wish to contribute with some days of development, just get in touch and we will be happy to organize and start collaborating. So donating is the easier way, but we are open to any kind. the goal is to keep this project free. Many other platforms are just SaaS or closed, but we still strongly believe in this model because there are all over the world companies like you that try to make business out of this platform, and participating is a healthy way to do a modern way to do business and to grow all together and to make it grow around the specific needs of your market, of anybody market, and not just going out and buy some marketing buzzword platform or anyway software. So please get in touch, support us in any way, and help us keeping all of this free and accelerate to bring Forma to a brighter future and more modern and stable solution. Okay, so thank you. I don't know if there are other questions or if you, Max or Claudio, or anybody wants to add anything.
Well, first of all, I've seen a couple of people, a couple of new attendees who have just joined 5 minutes ago. So we let them in, but of course they have just seen the last 5 minutes. Maybe an issue with the, I don't know, with the time zone or whatever. That being said, we will be emailing you the presentation, the video, so even those who have not attended or who have just joined 5 minutes before the end will receive all the material. And you can get in touch with us to discuss, to see your options, to understand how we can work together. We will put all our contacts in the email that we will send you, and we look forward to being able to talk to you. And in the meanwhile, just thank you all for your participation and your and your interest into Forma and into what we do. Okay. I've sent Marco our contacts. He asked them in the chat, but anyway, we will be writing you directly. So again, thank you all.
Have a good day.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.